Hi there guys, welcome to the steamy late summer east of the nation compared with the early winter type west. I'll try and keep waffle fairly short anyway. This is rather bits and pieces, but one reason I want to put it up is I've now got the information regarding one of our YouTube friends making something from nothing, and that's Richard, and he is in the middle of a property / boundary dispute which sounds extremely troublesome, and one of the other YouTubers set up a GoFundMe for him, which I think is a very noble idea. Richard hasn't got really enough money to fight this damn case, and he's going to fight it, and I hope he comes out on the winning side. He really ought to. Anyway, there's a link below to his video, so if you watch that, if you don't know any details about what's going on, that'll get you up to speed, and also a link to the GoFundMe page. So if as many of us as possible can add a bit to that GoFundMe. I haven't done it yet, I'll try to. I'm pretty short of money right now, but I'll try and throw something in. And it could well be that the news about his problem is spreading around the channels already. So I may just be repeating what other people have already said, but anyway, do look that up if you can. Richard needs some help. But beyond that, what have I done? Not much. And I found a box of router cutters, which I haven't used for ages because woodwork is not much of a thing these days, but I was interested to see if the two profile cutters, which are for putting a large radius on the edge of something, I wondered if one or both would do anything useful on a piece of aluminum. I wouldn't try them on steel, but yeah, the small one seemed basically fairly useful, and it could be in the odd case where something needs to be profiled that way. It would probably do, even with a bit of finishing after the cuts. And then, if you remember the saga about my stupid little generator, I got the new carburetor for it, and got that fitted, got the damn thing running, so I just showed that functioning at last. I may have said before, it's not used much, but it saves firing up my large generator if I just need something for low power for lights. And then finally I scored a couple of boxes of, I suppose you'd say, stuff or junk from a garage sale. I had to look through those to see what I'd got. Not bad, a couple of bucks each I think. And as I think I may have mentioned, it's the sort of thing where you get a box of stuff and maybe use one item out of 2 or 3 dozen, and the rest just takes up space, which I haven't really got. Anyway, that's it. Stop the waffle. If it cools off a bit, I might even get some chips made, which I keep saying, don't I? I haven't got round to anything useful for so long. Anyway, take care everybody, particularly all you guys getting flooded out and every other damn thing. And I hope to be back fairly soon. Alright, take care. See you later. Bye. I've had this old set of router bits for longer than I can remember, and it's a long time since I did much woodwork, but I thought I'd just try a couple. There's this one and this one, just to see if they would give a corner rounding effect. I mean, they're imports, they're not meant for metal, but on aluminum, thought it might be worth a try. I expect other people have tried the same thing, but I haven't. Well, this is this is the smaller edge radius cutter. I've set it so that the ball race is not quite touching the material. Not that it's a very good ball race by the feel of it. And I'm probably about 2 to 3 thou too low. So I'm getting a burr at the top, which is predictable. So I'll try a little bit more. Well, it's got potential, I think. I've got this burr at the top. As I said, I probably need to be set just 2 or 3 thou higher. Let's take that out and look at it. Alright. Leaving aside the bit of burr at the top. Yes, it has got some potential. For that odd occasion it might be useful. We'll try the bigger one. Well, that's running at 2200 like the smaller one. It's not too bad, but I don't think there's any particular case where I would need this large of a radius. I'll drop down a bit more and just take one more cut. Actually, this piece of bar isn't dead level. There's some marks on there. I suppose if push came to shove, it could be used and finished off by hand. But yeah, the small one actually is useful. And another thing which may be a factor as well, these are on a 1/4 inch shank, and even well up into the collet. I don't think it's probably going to be all that rigid, but anyway, it's just just something of interest to check it out. Well, it's ages since I scored anything from a garage sale, but I did get a couple of boxes of bits for not very much. I think this lot was about a couple of bucks. Loads of gears. I just checked these. These are, I don't know what I'm going to use them for, mind you. Those are 10 dpi. That one is 16, which is the same as my lathe gears, so I don't know whether that one's going to be any use. You never know. And what do we got here? Let's see. That's not 10, that's I'll have to check these later. That might be 12. And then a couple of bevel gears. Don't suppose you can see much. You never know, always useful if you've got to go 90 degrees. And so I don't suppose these will get used much, but you never know what can be handy. Another bunch there, complete with a spider, which I just nobbled. Another couple of bevel gears. Actually, those are quite nice. And these others, well, assorted, whatever. These are different pitch. Yeah. So anyway, I won't bore you with all those, but I was quite pleased to find that for about a couple of bucks, I think. Well, I don't think I can go through all of this box without boring you to hell, but it's a load of pulleys. This one looks like cast iron. Most of the others are alloy. And another. These are all alloy. And then a load of small ones. So some are quite heavy. These are cast iron. I did notice a couple. Oh, there's a double. May or may not be of use. And I think, oh, there's a double that's come off a motor, I suspect. And God, it's fun going through stuff. There's brass, that's for a round belt. See that? That's interesting. I don't know what that was ever for. Hasn't even got a set screw. But I did notice one other when I was having an initial rummage. Very corroded, but that's another double. Sort of thing that might be useful. That's a very small scale one, quite nicely made. Anyway, that's enough. Oh, gosh, everybody's seen pulleys. But you know, another box, probably a couple of bucks like the other one, might be useful sometime. Which means if I'm lucky I'll use one out of 2 or 3 dozen. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of that little rummage.